I mean, everybody's like 2019, save the turtles, but like all of us, I don't know, we're not all.
Hey guys, my name is Jack.
I'm Pete.
And thanks for joining our video on the effect of plastic pollution in the ocean and how it affects our marine life. Many of you guys have heard of the movements of saving the turtles. And then we also are going to be talking about ending the use of plastic straws.
Yeah, so people always hear about these issues, but sometimes it takes an actual visual to get the point across. So what you see here is a picture of a turtle actually that had a straw stuck in its nose. This photo went viral in 2018, and it led to the start of the Save the Turtles movement. Pretty graphic photo, but it's pretty necessary to see.
Yeah, it kind of just explains what we're trying to communicate to you guys. It's called Save the Turtles movement, but it also is not only intended for turtles, but all marine life.
Yeah, dude, actually, I think it was like last week, 2 weeks ago or something, I saw a video of a dolphin, and it saw just like a plastic bag floating above it, and it just like went up and tried to eat it because thought it was a jellyfish, and it was pretty bad, but
Yeah, graphic just shows how much plastic is affecting their environment. Since the 1940s, plastic has been mass produced, and it's been one of the leading factors of pollution. Ever since the 1940s, it kind of goes to show you how much plastic is being used every day. So
yeah, it's definitely been since the 1940s been going up like crazy, but thankfully in 2018, after this photo went viral, Seattle actually became the first city to ban plastic straws, and they started implementing like paper straws and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the movement ending the use of plastic straws and plastic in general has been one of the main factors of like communicating it has been through social media. And as Robert Cox said, communication as a constitutive also assists us in defining certain subjects as problems. So yeah, you want to
so in other words, it's pretty much saying like the general public doesn't really know that there's an issue until somebody communicates it effectively. So having celebrities that are behind the movement is pretty big. Having people like Tom Brady and his wife Giselle, uh, they're both very well known people. Giselle herself actually is probably more known than Tom Brady in some people's eyes, but having them behind the movement definitely helps and shows people that it's actually an issue that needs to be solved.
Yeah. So we have a short video for you guys on the effects of plastic straws in the ocean.
Yeah.
And we'll just show you guys real quick.
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
If you fly with Alaskan Airlines, you'll notice something different when you order in-flight beverages. No, the airline's not offering kombucha, yet. It's those darn plastic straws. Alaska Airlines will become the first U.S. carrier to eliminate plastic straws and use compostable wood ones instead. So, why would you care whether you use a plastic straw or not? We have the facts. Plastic straws are one of the leading contributors to ocean pollution. More than 500 million are thrown away every day in the U.S. To break the proverbial camel's back, Americans use an average of 1.6 straws per person per day. That translates into 175 billion straws a year. By the year 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean, and straws are a big reason why. That's because most plastic straws are too lightweight to recycle. When recyclables enter a facility, they go through a series of conveyor belts and mechanical sorting screens. These sorting screens separate glass from paper, paper from plastic, and so on. Straws, however, are too small to separate. They either contaminate recycling loads or end up in a landfill, and it takes 500 years for a single straw to decompose. In that time, the plastic could potentially leak pollutants into the soil and water. Every year, an estimated 8 million metric tons of plastic go into our oceans, and it's having a negative impact on wildlife. And for the other smaller pieces of plastic, they keep breaking down over time into what's called microplastics. They're basically pieces of plastic less than 5 millimeters in length. They're dangerous to wildlife because they can resemble food, and they leach harmful chemicals. The small bits can cause blockages in the digestive system of animals, potentially killing them. And if it's not enough to make you shake your head, one study says more than a quarter of all fish now contain plastic. Pollock with a side of plastic, anyone? Microplastics circulate and become trapped by ocean currents. Have you heard of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? It's less of a patch and more of a soupy chemical sludge in the North Pacific Ocean. It's more than double the size of Texas, and because of its low density, it can't be detected by satellite. So where does all that trash come from? 80% of it comes from activities on land, and the other 20% is from boaters, offshore oil rigs, and large cargo ships that dump or lose debris directly into the water. Alaska Airlines joins a growing list of others that will ban plastic straws. McDonald's in the UK is removing plastic straws from its approximately 1,300 locations. The strategy? Straws will be kept behind the counter so customers will have to ask for them, and they will be replaced with paper ones. Compared to the US, however, the company is recommending against it, saying it's already doing enough to recycle and be sustainable. When companies like Alaska Airlines decides to make environmental friendly moves, it has real impact. Ultimately, our oceans are living, breathing things, and everyone must play a part in their well-being, down to the last straw.
So hopefully that video kind of put it into perspective for everybody that it's a serious issue. And something that stuck out to me was that like 80% of the pollution in the ocean comes from on land, and only 20% actually comes from like oil rigs, fishing companies, and stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the stats that they, or the facts that they said in the video were pretty astonishing. When that pointed out to me that the U.S. uses about 500 million straws every day. It's pretty shocking. So for myself, I've noticed like big companies such as like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks in general, they banned all plastic straws from being sold. And then along with Dunkin' Donuts, they've added the plastic lids instead of using straws. There still is some straws, but they're starting to begin to phase out of using them.
Yeah, dude, I honestly like those lids better than the paper straws anyway. Because for me, I know definitely will use a paper straw over plastic because it's definitely the right thing to do. But I enjoy the lids way better. I'd honestly probably take them over a plastic straw too. They're just pretty convenient,
Yeah,
And I think it's
more efficient.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's also very good that like Alaska Airlines is getting behind the movement too. Hopefully, it's gonna start a trend for all the other airline companies.
Exactly. Yeah, like if you don't really think about it, but there's over like millions and millions of people flying every day, and if all the airlines can get on that movement, it would just be better for the world. So
Exactly, dude. Hopefully, the plan is to hopefully eliminate all plastic straw use, but it's a long stretch, and hopefully, people will start the movement again and start posting their pics on Instagram with some paper straws and some plastic lids.
yeah, definitely. This is a very like eye-opening research. Didn't really realize how much plastic use we have and how much of the plastic straws have an effect on our marine life and ocean life. And yeah, it was very eye-opening, and I appreciate you guys listening, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.